friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Asa Tarot, and today's pick a card reading is going to be looking at what you don't see about yourself. So I'm hoping this will make you feel a bit better about yourself. Truthfully, our dumb brains really can do a number on our perception and on our self-esteem, and sometimes it's good to have an outside perspective to show you how wonderful you are, and also what things might be blocking you from reaching your full potential. I also, before we get into it, I did quickly want to say there are people commenting below my videos pretending to be me. If you get any notifications or people trying to contact you under my name, I'm not contacting anyone for personal readings. I'm not doing personal readings at this time. I also don't have WhatsApp or Skype, so if you get anything suspicious, just know that's not me. That's somebody pretending to be me that's scamming. So I'm really sorry about that. I try to block and remove most of them, but man, they keep coming. But we have 3 piles today. Pile 1 with the Affirmators Tarot and the Angelite Heart. Pile 2 with the Way of the Panda Tarot and the Pink Aragonite Cloud. And pile 3 with the, Apparition Tarot and the Blue Chalcedony Butterfly. Go ahead and pause the video if you need to decide which pile or stone you feel most drawn to. It is absolutely okay to be drawn to more than one pile today. There is no such thing as too much self-love and self-improvement, so definitely check out more than one pile if you feel called to it. Yeah, and then once you decide which pile you want, go ahead, scroll down to the description, and we'll get into your reading. Hi there, pile 1. Of course, my water tank turns on as soon as I turn on my camera. If you guys chose the Angelite Heart and the Affirmators Tarot, this is going to be your reading, and this is what you don't see about yourself. So I'm really excited to get into this because I've already shuffled your oracle cards. And wow, can I just say, pile 1s, you guys are already, I adore all of you. You're wonderful, and I'm really excited to see what comes out in your tarot cards. So let's just go ahead and ask Spirit, what does pile 1 not see about themselves? We have the Lovers, the 7 of Wands, the 10 of Wands, the 9 of Cups, and the King of Wands. So I'm just going to say right off the bat, there's a song playing in my head, which I was actually jamming to this. I was putting on makeup earlier. We Appreciate Power by Grimes. That is like playing in my head right now. And I don't know, I just felt like I had to say that. So let's look at your oracles now. We have All Paths Lead to Home, Inner Authority, Intuition, Turn Your Gaze Within, and the back of the deck energy was Earthed, Learning How to Be Human in the World but Not of It. We have Mintaken, Longing for Home, Belonging, the Original Lightworkers, and Lemuria, Creating Heaven on Earth, It's Happening. We also have the Buffalo and the Sea Serpent, which the Sea Serpent was the bottom of the deck energy for that one. And finally, we have Growth and Victim, both being heart chakra cards. So one thing I just want to say right off the bat, you probably already understand this about yourself, but I think it needs to be reiterated how true it is. Pile 1, I'm not shocked that you guys picked this Angelite Heart, because one of the most beautiful things about you is your kind and compassionate heart. With the Lovers here, you could be a Gemini or be an air sign. We also have a lot of fire, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and we have a lot about earth and a little bit of water, so we got a good mix of both. But this is my pile of misfits, and I don't say that in a mean way. I say that in a endearing way. This is somebody who has fought for everything that they've worked for and have really been tested in life. I have to say right now, pile one, I'm so proud of you guys. Everything that you've been through, you just need to know that it hasn't been for nothing. You've come so far, and you're going to continue to just make leaps and bounds of progress. Like, I already just want to start crying and giving you guys hugs, because you are truly magical beings. For a lot of you, you could be starseeds. If you've never looked into that, I would really recommend that. But no matter what, you're a very creative soul, and you're somebody who really has had to work to gain approval and feel accepted. It's like you've really had to fight for your place in the world. And one thing that I want to say right off the bat that you don't see about yourself is how far you've come and how much you've grown. And I really relate to this pile, because one thing that I am sensing that you guys struggle with is feeling a sense of belonging and finding a place where you feel at home. And I think that your sense of not truly feeling at home anywhere you are, and on top of that, the way you've been treated by others, I want to say very unjustifiably, has only increased this enormous amount of empathy and compassion for others. And I don't think you show this to everybody. I think you've had to develop a bit of a barrier with the Seven of Wands here. You know, you've had to fight for your right to party or just your right to exist and your right to be who you are. And with this growth card here, I actually want to read the story that comes with this card, because I think it's really beautiful, and I think it will be really helpful for some. So it says, growth. Your message is best expressed when you are uniquely you. So each card in this deck has a story, and this is the story behind this card. Grass is excited. He is ready to tell his best friend Weed that he is gay. But Weed reacts negatively and is the first of many judgmental encounters for Grass. For years, he is turned down for jobs, and even when he applies for an apartment. Grass fights for the right to live where he wants and wins, but soon after he moves into his new apartment, someone breaks in and attacks him. In the hospital, his loved ones gather, sharing stories of who Grass was to them. He dies, leaving behind his legacy of love and courage. Grass says, break away. It may be time for change of scenery, visit a foreign country, embark on a new enterprise, or learn a new skill. Most importantly, grow. Personal inquiry. What have I outgrown? Am I willing to become independent? And the key ideas are taking a stand, living your truth, lack of safety, clashing of values, and teaching by example. So this is especially, for my LGBTQIA peeps, my, people of color, anyone in general. It doesn't matter what you are, what you identify as, but if you've ever felt like you weren't accepted for who you are or who you loved, and you were treated poorly because of that, I just want to say that, I'm so sorry that you've had to deal with that, and I'm so proud of you for not letting that, oh my God, I'm gonna start crying, for not letting that change your kind heart and take away your spirit, because you really have come so far. I really did not think in pile one right off the bat I would be like this. But even if you're not fully living in your truth, if you're not out yet or something like that, I mean, obviously this isn't going to resonate for all of you, but I do want to shed light on that. It's okay. You don't have to declare what you are or who you love to the world. It's okay to just accept you right now. And I think that's the most important thing, is that I hope that you can see that you deserve to accept yourself for who you are, and that there is nothing wrong with you, and that it is okay to be who you are, and you have a right to be who you are, and your uniqueness is something very special and something that you should celebrate, because not everybody has this. And I really feel like with this victim card here, I feel this like anger, like at the world, because it's like, why did I have to be born like this? Why am I like this? Why can't I just be normal? You know, whether it's just that you feel like you don't fit in, whether you feel like your values or who you are isn't accepted. And I think that pile one, you've come a really long way. And you're learning to stand in your power. With this buffalo spirit, it's like you've gone through real trials and tribulations. And you have really been pushed to your limits. But you keep standing, and you come out on the other side stronger. And Spirit just wants to say how proud they are and how important it is that you don't give up. But the one thing that I want to say that you don't see about yourself, that you need to see, is that you need to stop looking for this sense of home outside of yourself. Because the sense of home that you're looking for actually resides within you. And it's very hard to get to that point where you can find home within yourself. But that starts with self-acceptance and honoring the person you were born as, honoring the things that your soul calls you to do. And I think that you're starting to understand that. A lot of you could be light workers, or if you haven't heard of that, I would look that up. It's a very wonderful thing to be. I'm a light worker. You can be like literally anything and be a light worker. It's just somebody who strives to create more positivity in the world and create more kindness in the world. And Spirit is saying that there's so much home within you. Your guides, your angels, your starseed families, your soul family, they are always with you. And sometimes shit sucks, and people are mean, and people are judgy, and people are just trash, honestly. People, I'm not saying that all people are trash. I'm saying that there are people that have trash behaviors and they treat people poorly because they're unhappy with themselves. But I hope you know that it has no bearing on who you are. And in fact, it's only made you stronger. And Spirit is saying that you're gonna figure it out. You're gonna be just fine. But one thing that could help you is to accept the fact that you're here, and that you're here for a reason. I sense for a lot of you, there might be this just like, why am I like on this earth? Like, why am I on this planet? Like, why do I have to be here? You know, you might feel like you belong in the stars. You might feel like you belong in the sea, you know, somewhere different. And I think it's important with this Earth card here, learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. You are a beautiful soul who is here having a human experience. And while the human experience is not always fun, your soul chose to be here for a reason. And you are growing, and you are learning, and you are evolving, and you are just getting stronger. And one important thing that Spirit wants me to tell you all about, especially with all of these wands, is one, you guys are funny as hell. And a lot of the shit, I was trying to find a more eloquent word, but I couldn't. A lot of the shit that you've been through has just really helped you be open and more just unafraid to laugh at things and unafraid to laugh at life, because you've really seen how quickly in a flash of an eye things can change or things can fall through. And Spirit's just so proud of you for not letting go of your soul and who you truly are. And with this sea serpent, this is a spirit card. And this is all about the sacral chakra, and we have a lot of orange here. So you could operate out of your sacral chakra, which is about creativity, expression, sexuality. And Spirit is saying that your creative abilities and your creative expression is very important. And even if you don't feel confident in it, it's important to honor it. You don't have to share it with anybody. You absolutely should if you want to and if you feel proud of it, because the world can always benefit from more art, and there's room for you and your art or your creations or your writing, whatever it is that you do that's creative. Spirit's asking you to honor that. And also, don't be afraid to make it personal. Don't be afraid to channel your emotions into it. I feel like because of a lot of the tough things you've had to experience, it's hard for a lot of you to confront and face your emotions. And Spirit's asking you to not do that so much anymore. It's okay to have an open heart to yourself. I feel like you have this kind, compassionate heart for others, but you have a hard time turning it in on yourself. And that could be because you're a product of your experiences, or you grew up in a family where you felt like you weren't accepted. But I really hope that you heed my words and know just how precious you are, how important your life is. I mean, the buffalo is a pure, beautiful spirit, somebody who's so strong and spiritual, but can still be grounded and practical. And you can achieve anything you wish. And Spirit's telling you a lot of the things that you want, a lot of that inner fulfillment and peace is within you. And that starts with accepting yourself. And you need to. It's not your job to carry the burden of other people not accepting you. It's not. That's their problem. You are here and you exist. So that means that you inherently matter. And what your soul tells you to do, what your soul tells you who to be, those are valid. And F anybody who doesn't agree. They're not required to be a part of your life. You're a fighter. You're a warrior, pile one. And you have an incredibly strong intuition. And your uniqueness is not a weakness. It's a strength. And it's something that as you continue to grow and evolve and get older, you're just going to see more and more how special it is that you were born into this body, that you are this person, because I think that you have an amazing ability to connect with people, especially one-on-one, and see into people's hearts. You're not somebody who judges people by appearances or what they have. You judge people based on their character, based on their morality, their integrity, and that's a real ass human. That's a real human, and you should be really proud of yourself. You're real. And with this King of Wands here, Spirit is saying how far you're going to go if you're not already at this point. You are connected and very close to Spirit. And your creative abilities are an extension of the light working that you do, of the person that you are. You're so special. And the universe is telling you that you deserve to have your wildest dreams come true. There's no dream too small. If you want a jetpack, man, dream it into existence. We'll figure it out. If you want to be a genie, we'll figure it out. Co-create with Spirit and trust that you have everything that you need to create the reality that you want. With Lemuria, creating heaven on earth, it's happening in earth. One thing that I think Spirit is trying to get you to be aware of is that while the fantasy land in your head is wonderful, which they're kind of calling me out for this too, while being in the clouds and being in your fantasy head in your fantasies is wonderful, which you do have a very rich imagination, and that's something that contributes to your creative abilities. Sometimes it's important to be grounded, to be present, and to be here so that you can protect your energy, because this is somebody who's highly empathic. They know, when somebody's being shady. You know when somebody's not fully accepting you. You know when somebody's not getting you. That is not a reflection of you. That is a reflection of them. And I just want you to know that your kind spirit, your kind heart, the love that you have for people is the love that you deserve to give to yourself. And I know it's very hard to love yourself, and I'm planning on making a video about self-love because it's not easy. Sometimes all we can do is self-tolerate. But you really do deserve to love yourselves. And I promise you, the treatment that you receive, the negative treatment that you've received growing up, the hard things that you've had to go through, they're not a reflection of your worth. And they're not burdens that you need to carry. Spirit wants you to unclench your jaw, relax your shoulders, hug yourself, love yourself, because you're a divine being. You're a part of the cosmos, and standing out is a hell of a lot cooler than fitting in. I Am the Walrus by the Beatles might be a significant song here, but you have incredible intuitive abilities, and you can trust that your intuition will guide you where you need to go. But if you have trouble understanding what is your intuition, anxiety yells, but your intuition whispers or speaks very calmly. And the things that you feel deeply in your heart, those that is your soul. It's not what your head says. It's not the mean shit that your brain says to you. Sometimes you have to tell your brain to just shut the hell up. Like, you know, it's hard to listen to what our brain says sometimes. But Spirit wants you to know that the way that people have treated you is not a reflection of your worth. And if only you could see how special and how beautiful you are from Spirit's eyes, from my eyes. I mean, you underestimate yourself so much. And it's time that you stop, because, oh, you're wonderful. And you're going to do big things. You're going to do really wonderful things. And I'm sure you've done a lot of wonderful things already. But one thing that you might need to work on is letting go of these barriers and assuming that everybody is out to get you. That can be a response to trauma. It can be a fear. And I want you to know that it's okay if you need to get help, like counseling or something like that. That's absolutely okay. Maybe just doing more research into your spirituality or your soul, maybe getting past life readings might be something helpful for you to kind of understand who you are. But you have a special mission here, and it's to inspire others by being uniquely you. And that can be doing anything. That can be through being a teacher. That can be through being a social worker, being an entrepreneur, a manager, a coworker, a friend. You're a wonderful friend. That's one thing that I'll say for sure, is that your friends are really lucky to have you, and they love you a lot. And sometimes they wish that you would open up more about the things that you're going through, because you don't deserve to struggle alone. You're very, very special, Pile 1. And I feel like with this angelite heart being the stone that you were attracted to, I think that you have a strong connection to angels, and that you are just an angel on earth. And you are just a light. You are so beautiful, so unique. And I hope that someday, if not now, you see how truly special you are, and how important your presence is here, and how much you matter. Because, man, Pile 1, you guys are wonderful. And, oh, I just wish I could give all of you hugs. You're really wonderful. And I feel like I can't say that enough. So let's get some advice now, and then we'll get into charms. This is also, too, somebody who has hella psychic abilities. I also think that maybe one thing that could benefit you is I'm probably saying this in too much of a simplified way. With this 10 of Wands, I get the sense that you say yes to things even when you don't want to, because you want to be helpful and help others. But I think at times that stops you from being fully there for yourself and doing what you need. And so Spirit's really asking you to prioritize your needs first and give to yourself first. Make sure your emotional cup is full. Make sure that you're in a place to give, and only say yes when you truly want to and you feel like you're in the place to. You're not required to help other people before yourself. It's important to help you. Okay, so we'll start with these cards. Spirit, what advice do you have for... Okay, we've got them popping out, so let's take them. Look at that. We have Elliot. Let yourself rest. The world will keep spinning. Yeah, I feel like your mind races a lot. You might struggle with insomnia, but I feel like Spirit is saying, you know, you deserve to rest, and you know, there is such a thing as toxic positivity and toxic habits when it comes to working. You know, you might work yourself to death, and you know, the grinding all day, all the time is not healthy. You need to give yourself time to rest. You are a precious little being, and you deserve to just snuggle up at night and be at peace when you sleep. We also have Bitterbriar, Sophie, and Sprig. The friends we meet along the way help us appreciate the journey. So yeah, I feel like you've met a lot of your soul family. I feel like for a lot of you, you're the type of person who you don't really, you're more of a quality over quantity person when it comes to friends. So if somebody touches your heart, like, you know, they'll be with you forever. And then we have Leonard Rohrlot. Be brave enough to become who you were always meant to be. Yes, I love this. This is so true. You are so fierce, and you deserve to just live your truth and express yourself. You're so valuable. You're so, you know, with that King of Wands, now I'm thinking about the Cowardly Lion, you know, and thinking about if I were a king, like, bitch, you are a king, and you need to get over it. And finally, we have Jezebel and Kazoo. Never dim your light for the sake of making others comfortable. And I mean, what else can I say? This is all about you being light. You are meant to shine your light, and you are meant to overcome any negative influences that tell you that you're not enough or that you can't do it. Because, man, pile one, you guys are awesome. And I can't get over. I wish I could shake you and just be like, see how wonderful you are. You're amazing. Get over it. But like, that's kind of aggressive and probably won't help. But I just can't reiterate enough how valuable your perspective is, your voice, your creative abilities, your expression. You deserve to honor it. You were given these desires for a reason. So let's hear some encouraging messages from the universe to you. Okay, well, we've got these three popping out, and I think that they're meant for all of you. So to start, we have oneness is my true nature. And I think this is important, especially because when people are mean to us and aren't accepting of us and don't understand us, it's because they're viewing you as something separate. And when the truth of the matter is that we're all connected. We're all connected by one divine source. Separation is a fallacy. And when you think about it, we all came from the same place, which the most widely accepted theory is that we all came from Africa. And, you know, so we all started in one place. We all started from one ancestral lineage, I believe, because, I mean, you got to start with two people. But we're all divided. It doesn't matter, you know, what culture you are, what orientation you are, what you identify as. You're a soul living a human experience, and you deserve to honor your soul's calling. And, you know, you are connected to the universe at all times. You are never alone. And I know sometimes it might feel like, especially when really tough shit happens, that the universe abandoned us, or that we're alone, or that we're an outcast and that we don't fit in. But the truth of the matter is that you were created to be the person that you are now, and you are absolutely beautiful and perfect, and there is not a single thing wrong with you. And of course, we all have flaws, we all have things that we can improve, but your soul's yearnings, the things that you want to be, the person who you truly are, there is nothing wrong with that, and there is nothing wrong with you, and we're all connected, and you need to remember that. And I think that will help you have more compassion for others, to just realize that their misunderstandings are not necessarily, you know, they might be a hateful person, but a lot of anger and a lot of shitty behavior comes from fear and ignorance, and a lack of understanding what we don't know. And, you know, just write that stuff off as a reflection of them and not you, and feel lucky enough to know that you're somebody with a compassionate heart, and somebody that is open-minded and open to seeing new perspectives. We also have, in every moment, the universe is conspiring to bring me toward right-minded thinking and the energy of love. And that's the energy that you're most at home in. And that's the energy that you need to get comfortable in. But you'll never be comfortable in it if you're not willing to open yourself up to the idea that you are worthy of love. You know, your cards are all about your heart chakra. You're a fighter, but you can't block your heart out. I know sometimes it feels like that, and it's hard when we live in a very logically centered world, and a world that doesn't necessarily honor kindness and empathy over rational thinking, which rationality and logical thinking is important, but we have to use discernment with how much we use each thing. And man, I don't think there's anything more beautiful than a big heart. And yeah. Finally, we have, when I lean on certainty and faith, I change my mind about the world I see. And I also, with the sea serpent, I think there's something about when you can't find beauty in the world. I think this is a Hindu thing. I'm sure some of my Indian followers, shout out to y'all, could comment on this. But I think it's when your sacral chakra is out of balance, or when your inability to see beauty in the world, it means that your acne is dim. I have to look in the book to look at acne. I'll probably put something in the bottom about that. But essentially, if you're not able to see beauty in the world, then there needs to be some adjustment so that you can, because there is a lot of beautiful things in the world. And unfortunately, there's a lot of bad things, but there's a lot of beautiful things as well. For example, now I can't even think of anything that's beautiful. One thing that pale blue dress that Lupita Nyong'o wore, I think it was at the Oscars. I love that dress so much. I think about it all the time. I'm like, thank God that dress exists. Like, it just makes me happy. Even if it's just the smallest thing in the world. I just like think there's tons of beautiful shit in the world. Man, look, my duck. Look at Rudy. Like, he's gorgeous. You know? Christmas King, honestly. Little angel. Okay. There's so many beautiful things in the world. And sometimes I feel like I'm ranting and getting on a tangent, but trust that you were brought to this point for a reason, and it's time for you to see your power and stand in it. So let's get you some charms and some songs. So, Spirit, what charms do you have for pile 2? Okay. Get you some songs as well. So, to start out, we have the drum set. So you could play music, you could play the drums, you could have musical ability. I also see this as saying that you were born to stand out, not fit in, and you deserve to live in your light. You shouldn't dim your light to make others feel comfortable. Also, with this red coming out here, I think that this is talking about the root chakra. And one important thing about the root chakra is grounding, which we've already seen here is something that you might want to work on. But with root chakra, the root chakra as well, this is where we address family issues and healing inner child wounds. So that might be something that you want to look into. We also have the gumball machine, and I feel like this is just a positive omen that Spirit is saying that there are many blessings coming your way and that you're very deserving of all of them. We also have the shell here, and I'm kind of getting two meanings. One, I think that Spirit is asking you to come out of your shell a little bit more and not be afraid to express yourself, but also you have a very, very strong intuition, which I've already said before, and you can trust it. You can trust what your soul calls you to do. We also have the diamond here, so you could be you could be born in the month of April, so you could be an Aries or a Taurus. But this always talks about how diamonds are formed under pressure, and they're like the strongest gemstone. And you know what? They're clear, they're solid, and they're valuable. And Spirit is saying that you are valuable, and all of your experiences have been turning you into the person that you're meant to be. And with this flying pig, you know, Spirit is asking you to dream big and go towards your dreams because you deserve to achieve all of them. And also with this door, I'm called to see like Om, which is actually the sign on my little rose quartz sphere. And, you know, Spirit's asking you to find that inner peace, but also with this MO, I'm also hearing mo money, mo problems. So, you know, it's easy to get caught up in ideas of opulence and wonderful, like lots of money. I feel like Spirit is asking you not to be super focused on the monetary aspect. The abundance will come to you. And with this door charm, I feel like Spirit is saying, you know, when one door closes, another opens, and trust that when things aren't going your way, they're just detours in the right direction. And we also have the cat here, so you could have a special connection to animals, and Spirit might be highlighting that. Also, you know, cats are very intuitive. They also know their worth, and people have to work for their love. And so I feel like Spirit is asking you to also know your worth and know that you don't have to give your love to anybody who isn't deserving of it, and you deserve to know your worth and how special you are. And we have Sagittarius and Optimist, so you could be a Sagittarius. I think Spirit is asking you to just always stay on the lighter side. Your optimistic attitude is really special. And we also have the Libra charm with charming, and I feel like Spirit is saying that you have much better social skills than you think you do, and you can be very charming and have more confidence in that because you have a special voice and you deserve to speak it. I also think I'm called back to this drum charm because I'm just gonna put it out there. A lot of people wanna smash, if you get what I mean. They wanna bang you. Okay, let's look at your songs now and see what we have. So we have 679. That might be an angel number you want to look up, by Fetty Wap featuring Monty. Like, yeah, pile one's fine. Blinding Lights by The Weeknd. We also have Yeah by Usher. And finally, we have Levitating by Dua Lipa featuring Madonna and Missy Elliott. Okay, pile one, thank you guys so much for watching this all the way through. If you did, definitely let me know down below how this resonates. I would love to hear. Definitely leave me a like and subscribe if you're interested in more readings like this. Thank you guys so much for giving me the opportunity to read your cards and charms. You are so, so, so wonderful, and I hope that you recognize that. I'm wishing you all the best moving forward, and I hope you'll come back and visit me again soon. Bye! Hi there, pile two. If you guys chose the pink cloud and the Way of the Panda Tarot, this is what you don't see about yourself that you should. This will be, you know, wonderful things about you things that might be blocking you. This card, there's some cardstock that is harder to shuffle than others, and I'm trying to get better at doing all of it, but it's not easy. Okay. But I'm excited to see what comes out here. Okay, so Spirit, what does pile 2 not see about themselves that they should? What does pile 2 not see about themselves? The 6 of Wands. Okay, 2 coming out. We have the 9 of Wands and the 5 of Pentacles. We also have the 8 of Pentacles. And on the back of the deck, we have the Knight of Wands. Okay, lots of fire and earth. That would be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. So for your oracles, we have Star Family. You're part of a team of souls. Call in support. And Inner Earth. You'll survive this. New solutions and beginnings. Also have Sisterhood of the Rose, Beauty and Devotion, Priestess, Mystic, Teacher. And you're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. Also have the Owl and the Mouse. So this is Earth and Air. You could have Earth or Air placements. The air ones are Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And finally, we have Confusion and Miracle. Okay. So, pile 2, what do you guys not see about yourselves? Well, for one, I don't think you see how strong you are and your sheer determination and willpower and how impressive it is. One thing that Spirit was calling to me to say while I was shuffling, claircognizance and clairvoyance are 2 different, which clairvoyance is psychic seeing and claircognizance is psychic knowing. I would look into those if you haven't already. I definitely think that you are somebody who has wonderful psychic abilities. Also, just have to point it out, you are probably very physically attractive, whether you realize it or not. At the very least, though, you have a very beautiful soul and a very magnetic soul. And you probably already see this, but I feel called to say it anyway. You're your own worst enemy, and more specifically, your brain is your own worst enemy. For some of you, I feel called to talk about the goddess Lakshmi. She is a goddess in Hindu culture. The white owl is a signifier of her, and she's often portrayed in, I think she's almost always portrayed with lotus flowers. So lotus flowers and owls are very important. So she could be an important goddess in your life. She also talks about wealth and success. And I feel like Spirit is saying that as long as you put the work in, you will be successful. With this 5 of Pentacles here, you could come from really humble beginnings, or you could just be in a place right now where you want to increase your monetary abundance and you're just kind of feeling exhausted and you're feeling like you're not seeing the fruits of your labor. But Spirit is saying not to give up. But I don't think you will, because I can already tell that you're somebody very determined. And with this Knight of Wands here, I feel like you can karate chop any challenge that comes your way. I really do think that your own fears are your own worst enemy. And in fact, I think that Spirit is trying to give you messages all the time, and you're so lost in your fears and your worries that you're not able to fully listen. But here's what's really cool about you. With the owl and the mouse here, you're able to look at things not only from a detail-oriented micro perspective, but you're also able to see the bigger picture and the things at a macro level. You really do have the ability to manifest and create anything you want. Like, this is straight up magician energy. You have the ability to utilize all of your skills and all of your abilities and channel them into your purpose. And I feel like Spirit is asking you, because the mouse can talk about how we let our anxiety or our fears get the best of us and not see the bigger picture. And Spirit is saying that whatever you're going after, you're already doing it. You're doing a wonderful job. Keep trusting your soul. And with the Sisterhood of the Rose, you could have a lot of feminine energy or be just in touch with yin energy. I think there's a lot of good karma when it comes to the work you put in and the healing that you've been trying to do. Spirit sees that you've been trying to heal, and if you haven't, at the very least, you've been thinking about it and recognizing and acknowledging that it's time to start healing, and Spirit is very proud of you for that. I think Spirit is asking you to be a bit more disciplined, because you might be you might be relying on bursts of motivation to get things done, and I think Spirit is asking you to try and channel that energy a little bit better and push through, but also know when it's time to take a break. And if you need rest, that's okay, because sometimes we do just need rest. But ask yourself sometimes if you're holding yourself back because you don't feel like it, or you're holding yourself back because you're afraid it won't come out the way you want it to, or it won't, or something won't live up to your idea of perfection. I think that's one thing that you don't see that's holding you back, is that you have such high standards for yourself that it's hard for you to realize that you're holding yourself to a completely unrealistic standard that is unattainable for anybody, and it's unfair to hold yourself to that standard. And I think that there are habits and cycles or patterns that you've been repeating that Spirit is asking you to assess if those are of your highest good and they're really helping you. You might be hyper fixated on the wrong stuff, on the things that you can't control rather than the things that you can. But I think one important thing to point out here is that you have the spirit of a winner, and Spirit is saying that you will be successful in anything that you do. And actually, I think you have a lot of family in the 5D. So this could be soul family, ancestors, past life, souls that are attached to you, guides. You have a lot of spiritual support around you, and I think Spirit is asking you to be more cognizant of that and call for it when you need it. I feel like your emotions, not even your emotions, it might be your anger or your frustration with your circumstances sometimes, and a bit of there's an energy of impatience here, like you just want to see the progress, and Spirit's saying that you're already making progress and you need to trust that. But you might be hyper focused and want this progress to come faster. And it's not serving you. With this Miracle card here, I feel like Spirit is asking you to stop dimming your inner light. With the owl and the mouse here, I'm called to the fact that they're both in they're in dark backgrounds, and there's these little bursts of light. I feel like there's constantly spirits around you, like orbs or just spiritual energies, maybe even fairies, if you believe in that sort of thing, if you work with the fae or something. There's a lot of light sources attracted to you, and unfortunately that can bring about people who are not of your highest good, that are energy vampires, and Spirit's asking you not to pay them any mind and don't let them dull your shine. You have a special connection with the divine, and the only thing holding you back from opening up to it more is, I feel like for a lot of you, there might be a stubbornness to meditate or just sit with yourself. I think Spirit is asking you to be more okay with sitting in silence and sitting with yourself. It's hard to quiet your brain sometimes, but I think it definitely could benefit you. The most important thing to remember here is that you're so much more powerful than you think you are, and everything will make sense one day. It might not make sense right now, but what you need to see about yourself is that you're not meant to see the full picture. And it's impossible for you to. You're just on your life journey right now. And I think that you're unfortunately in a part of the journey right now that's a bit tougher, a bit more exhausting, that's really trying you. But Spirit is saying that you're going to get through it and you're going to come out stronger. And that part of your life's mission is to inspire others and strengthen your connection with the universe so that you can better live your purpose. You're a hard worker and you can do anything that you set your mind to. But when you're in this scarcity mindset, it's hard for you to see your full potential, I think. I think you think about all the ways you could fail or all the downsides, and Spirit's really asking you to not do that. With this pile, I just get this energy of just feeling really worn out and just tired. And I want you to know, pile 2, that it's okay to feel like this sometimes. And when you need rest, it's okay to rest. You're kind of like a wounded warrior, but trust me, you just need a little bit of recovery time and you'll be ready to get up and fight again. You could be a really great athlete, or Spirit might be asking you to honor your athletic abilities or work on them, because you could be really good at them. For some of you, I feel called to talk about how you being here is something very special. Like, you know, maybe when you were born, they didn't know if you were going to make it, or you were born with something that was very difficult to get through, or maybe, you know, you were a surprise or something like that. It's almost like, you know, you being here is a miracle in itself, and you need to honor that. Sometimes it's really easy to get caught up in our heads and talk ourselves down and tell ourselves that we're not worthy, but I hope you all know that you are so worthy and you can conquer any obstacles in your way. You're doing a wonderful job and you're going to get through this. And the closer you are to Spirit, the more you'll understand why you've had to go through the things you've had to go through. And you're only going to continue to get stronger. You're already on the right path and you're doing a wonderful job. But it's time to take a look at the things that aren't working and find new solutions for them, because I think you're not doing yourself any favors by not assessing these problems. You know, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting different results. If there's habits or things in your life that aren't serving you, that aren't helping you fulfill your mission or helping you fulfill what is of your highest good, it's time to kick that shit to the curb so that you can be your truest self, your highest self, your ultimate self, because you're meant to live your purpose. And I think that you have a strong, I'm called to use the word cohort or just feminine energy around you. And you could have very feminine guides, or like I said, you know, maybe you pray to Lakshmi, you know, maybe she's trying to make her presence known and say, hey, you know, I'm here, I'm supporting you. One thing about Lakshmi is that she definitely appreciates acknowledging her presence and at the very least honoring her in some way. But you also deserve to honor yourself, and you deserve to honor the divine being that you are. You're so intelligent, and you know, the saying ignorance is bliss is true. It's kind of hard to be smart sometimes, but just trust that you have a very unique perspective, and you're exactly where you need to be right now, and you're doing a great job. I feel like a lot of what you need right now is reassurance. I think you know you're awesome deep down, but sometimes you trick yourself into thinking that you're not, and that needs to change, buddy, because you are wonderful. Okay, let's get you some advice cards from Spirit now. Okay, so Spirit, what advice do you have for pile 2? What do you want them to know? Okay, so we have Sir Norval Munchington, escape the ordinary. We also have Chester, inspiration can be found in the simplest things. We have Jack and Aura, never miss a chance to dance. That's what I was thinking with that Knight of Wands. And actually, I'll just talk about this because it's relevant. When I was getting ready today, I was watching YouTube videos, and I kind of was just like feeling off, and I was like, bro, your energy is not right. Like you need to just pump up some music and dance around and have some fun. And it got me back into the energy that I needed to be and the energy that I wanted to be in to do this reading. So when you notice your energy being off, like just have a little dance party for yourself. Jam out to your favorite music. Just like have some fun, you know? Life doesn't have to be so serious all the time. And also we have Hector, a new perspective can make the impossible possible. So yeah, I think that's what you're needing, is that new perspective, that Hanged Man energy. I mean, even though this isn't the Hanged Man, it reminds me of the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man is Pisces energy. It's surrender. It's surrendering to the divine and accepting that you're here for a reason and that you have a purpose, and that yes, there are a lot of things in life that suck, and a lot of things suck, but there's also a lot of awesome things in the world, and there's a lot of blessings, and you are a blessing, your existence is a blessing, and you need to trust that things will get better, and you're doing wonderful. So let's also get some encouraging messages from the universe. To start, we have, through prayer and meditation, I create a ripple effect of peace in the world. Yeah, Spirit's really harping on that meditation, and gratitude also is something important. We also have, I let go of the shadow of the past by seeing someone for the first time with the eyes of love, coming from a loving perspective. And on the back of the deck, we have, my happiness is a direct reflection of my level of faith in the universe. And so, yeah, Spirit is asking you to have more faith, believe in miracles, trust that you can achieve the things that you dream of. You have all the capabilities. Like I said, you have BME, big magician energy, and you're an alchemist. You can create anything that you want, and you are going to achieve very big things. Okay, so let's get your charms and some songs. So pile 2, Spirit. Also see a little letter in here. So I'm gonna pull some songs too so I don't forget. ADD brain can be such a bitch sometimes. Alrighty, y'all get 5. Alrighty, so let's start with the sun, moon, and star charm. So this to me is talking all about how You are a divine being of the cosmos. You are made of the same ingredients that everything else in the universe is made of, and that you have a divine purpose for being here, and that you have a divine plan. You might have some understanding. You might have things that you don't understand with that moon. But with the stars here, it's important to have hope and remember that, you know, every day is a fresh day. You can always be a better version of yourself, and stop holding yourself to unrealistic expectations that no one can possibly achieve. I like the saying that you're only as good as what you did that day. But also I think that in some ways it doesn't hold merit, because like sometimes we do just need to chill out and watch Netflix and just have a mental break, just a physical break. But thinking I should be doing this, I should be doing that. No. Ask what you need and then what you want. But also the fact that you can achieve anything and do anything is an accomplishment in of itself, and I'm proud of you, and Spirit is proud of you. We also have the sun charm, so Leo energy could be present here. I also think this is talking about how Spirit is saying that you deserve happiness, you deserve to be happy. I think that there's clarity coming in a lot of situations that you're in right now, and a lot of things will make sense later. We also have the octopus. So the octopus is somebody who's very, very, very intelligent and very crafty and can get themselves out of very sticky situations. So I feel like Spirit is saying that, sorry, I didn't mean to drop him. You have all the capabilities needed to get yourself out of anything tricky, to get yourself out of any situations you don't want to be in. And also with this, you know, make sure you don't have your hands in too many different things. It might be more helpful to focus on a couple things instead of a bunch of things all the time, if that makes sense. We also have this pocket watch and this turtle. The turtle makes me think of Virgo energy. But also with the pocket watch, I feel like Spirit is saying that you're not late for anything. You're right on time. You know, with that turtle, it always talks about slow and steady wins the race. There is no race. That's kind of the point. You're exactly where you need to be at this time, and you're doing just fine. It's easy to compare ourselves when we think everyone else is more successful than us or doing more, but trust me, you're exactly where you need to be, and there's plenty of time, and you're gonna accomplish everything that you set out to do, as long as you are determined and you co-create with the universe and trust that it will happen, and have peace with the fact that you're not perfect. You can't always be perfect. Just strive to be the best version of yourself that you can, and, you know, treat every day as a new one. And with the turtle as well, I think Spirit is saying that it is important to go within sometimes. There's a lot of inner wisdom within you that you might not be acknowledging because you're having a hard time sitting with yourself. And with the flying pig, you know, this is all about believing in the impossible and trusting that your circumstances can change, and that you are so much more than you see yourself to be. And with the door charm, this is all about when one door closes, another opens. So trust when things don't work out in your favor, that there's a reason for it, and there's something much better coming your way. We also have, we have the red charm again. We have a lot of similar charms, so you might want to watch pile 1 as well if you felt drawn to it. But with this with this red charm, this is all about grounding. So grounding might be something that you need to work on. Also working on your root chakra. Inner child healing as well will maybe help you feel more grounded and more at peace. And then we also have the letter E, so whatever that means to you. I don't know why, I just heard Wall-E. So I don't know, maybe that's a movie that you like, maybe that's Wall-E and Eve. They're both in that. Okay, let's get into your songs now, pile 2. So we have In My Room by Frank Ocean. Good song, good song. We also have Fight Song by Rachel Platten. I love that because you guys are fighters and you will get through whatever you are dealing with at this time. We also have New Rules by Dua Lipa. I was just listening to this. That was one of the songs that I was dancing to earlier. Oblivion by Grimes. And finally, we have Without Me by Halsey. So, pile 2, thank you guys so much for watching this all the way through. If you did, definitely leave me a comment down below and let me know how it resonates. And of course, leave me a like and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to read your cards and charms. I really appreciate it. I am wishing you all the best moving forward. You will get through this stuff. You are braver and smarter and stronger than you think. I'm wishing you all the best, and I hope you'll come back and visit me again soon. Bye. Hi there, pile 3. If you guys chose the Apparition Tarot and the blue Chalcedony Butterfly, this is your reading, and this is what you don't see about yourself. So I already have your oracle shuffled, but I am going to shuffle your tarot on camera as usual. This deck is hard to hold because I have, see, like it's not very good. I'm gonna try again though. This deck is very hard to hold, and I'm trying to get better at oracle shuffling, and it does not help when you have teeny tiny, nah, my hands aren't that small, but they're not that big either. But you know what? That's okay. We gotta fail so that we can get better. And sucking at something is the first step to being sort of good at something. So, nobody's perfect. So I like to say. So let's see what you don't see about yourself. This is gonna be good things and also things that might be holding you back, because we want to reach our full potential and see ourselves for who we truly are. So let's ask Spirit, what does pile 3 not see about themselves? Okay, we have the Ace of Wands. We have the Seven of Pentacles, the Six of Swords, Temperance, and the Six of Pentacles. So right off the bat, I'm literally already hearing wasted potential. And it's not that Spirit thinks that you're wasting your potential, it's that they don't want you to waste your potential, because you have a lot of potential here. Interesting to note, we also have 2 sixes. Temperance is Sagittarius energy. We have a lot of Earth, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, and fire, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and a little bit of Earth, and a little bit of air. What's air? Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Oh my gosh. Okay, as you can tell, probably didn't get as much sleep last night as I wanted to. So let's look at your oracles now. We have Mirror, who or what is triggering you, and Answer the Call. What is your soul calling you to do? We also, lucky pile 3s, y'all got 3 of these cards. So we have Lost Lands, Soul Memories, and Gifts. You've done this before. We have Wait, It's Not Time Yet, Things Are Being Woven. And we have You're Not For Everyone, Embrace Your Weirdness and Face Your True North. I'm also seeing Saturn could be a big planet, or you could have a lot of Saturn placements in your chart. We also have the Swan, which I think is interesting because look at this mirroring imagery we have going on right there with that Swan. I'm also called to think about Billy Madison. Stop looking at me, Swan. And we have the Earthworm, so water here, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, and more Earth. And then finally we have Bittersweet, and we have Abundance. Okay, so pile 3, what do y'all not say about yourselves? Let's see. Well, first of all, I feel like a lot of you are on the younger side. You certainly don't have to be. But no matter what your age is, you are an old soul. This is not your first rodeo. I can tell you that for sure. But I think one thing that Spirit is trying to stress to me is that you are trying to find the right words. You severely underestimate how talented you are and how much you can actually achieve. And I think a lot of this, for some of you, especially if you're on the younger side, a lot of the things that you're meant to do and achieve, you'll understand with time. And I think that there's this really shitty aspect, especially in being just a part of social media and social media culture. We always feel like we're not doing enough and we're not achieving enough. But with the Earthworm and the Seven of Pentacles here, I think it's really important to remember, and the Weight, it's really important to remember that transformation, which we should note that you pick the butterfly, and we also have a butterfly in Temperance. Transformation comes through time and through experience. And even though you have an old soul, you still have new lessons that you need to learn. And that being a beginner is a wonderful perspective to have. Whether this could be, my little angel, she's falling over. Whether you could be starting a new hobby, or starting a new job, or starting school, something like that, where you're just starting out and you're a newbie. That doesn't mean that you're not talented and that you're not skilled. Everybody has to be a beginner, and it's just kind of a part of life. You gotta go through the stage of being a worm before you can be the beautiful butterfly. It takes time, it takes work, it takes effort. And I think you know all those things. But I feel like Spirit's asking you not to be hard on yourself for not being at the stage that you would like to be. Because you need to recognize that we all have to start somewhere. And if there's been something that you've been wanting to start that you haven't because you feel like you'll be bad at it, or you're intimidated by starting is the hardest part. And like I literally said earlier when I was shuffling, sucking at something is the first step to being sort of good at something. Shout out to Jake the dog from Adventure Time. You're very unique, Pile 3. And I feel like you're being given a sign from your soul to follow something. With this Ace of Wands here, there's some kind of passion that you need to be paying more attention to. And when it comes to this passion, I feel like Spirit is trying to stress that you have no idea. You have no idea how high you can fly. I was like thinking of that moment with Michael Scott when he's telling off David Wallace, and he's like, he quits his job, his job that he loves so much, to start his own company, and brings Dunder Mifflin to its knees by the end of it. He was really faking it till he made it, but he did it, and it all worked out. And I feel like Spirit is trying to get you to understand. My point with that is that, one, Spirit's asking you to stand up for yourself more and your abilities. Just because you're a novice or you're a newbie or you're young doesn't mean that you don't have valuable insight. But also, be open to learning from other people that have more experience than you, because you can also learn from those types of people. You have an incredible sense of emotional intelligence. With this swan here, I feel like you are somebody who has really blossomed and will continue to blossom. But one thing you might be struggling with is being too focused on the destination and not the process of getting there. With the Six of Swords here, there might be some really tough emotional things that you're trying to move on from. And Spirit is asking you to be patient with yourself when it comes to this. If you've been thinking about moving, honestly, a change of scenery might be helpful for you. Or maybe even traveling, even though if you're watching this at the time when it's uploaded, traveling might not be too possible. But temperance is all about patience. It's all about allowing things to happen as they will, going with the flow, balance and duality. There's a lot about duality here. And one thing that I think that you need to realize, pile 3, is that we are all made up of good aspects, and we're all made up of things that we could be better at or improve. We all have a light side and a shadow side. And Spirit is telling you that you can't ignore your shadow side and you can't ignore your light side. You have to acknowledge your wonderful attributes, and you also have to acknowledge the attributes that hold you back. And with that bittersweet energy, I think that Spirit is asking you to look at things with a bit more complexity. Don't write things off immediately, and don't write yourself off. With this mirror here, who or what is triggering you, Spirit is trying to show you what needs healed within you through the things that you feel triggered by. So if you find that something bothers you or something upsets you, that's when you need to have that question mark, like, oh, why do I feel triggered right now? And there's something that you need to address and something that will help you heal. But also, I think that you are a natural mirror, and you might mirror aspects of people back to them. And I get a lot of, like, I would not be surprised if you're an empath or just, very highly sensitive to energy. And I think other people can get triggered by you without you even trying. And so it's important to remember that that's not a reflection of you. That's a reflection of them. You're literally acting as a mirror. But with this answer the call, what you don't see yet is your true higher purpose. And Spirit is saying that you have a higher purpose here. It's one that's really special. And because this is a general reading, it's going to be different for each of you. But it's going to be that thing that you just feel drawn to, that your heart calls you to follow or to explore. And it's literally only your mindset that holds you back. Spirit's been calling you to do this thing for a reason. And it's time to honor that. With this abundance card, you might be stuck in a bit of a scarcity mindset, and that might be holding you back. Like, you don't think your talents or your gifts or your presence, it is worthy. But I want you to know that there is absolutely room for you, and there's room for whatever you want to do or whatever you want to achieve. And I think that Spirit wants to bring more abundance your way, but you have to be open to receiving it, if that makes sense. You have to start acknowledging that you are worthy of monetizing your talents, if that's something you're afraid of. You are worthy of good things, of gifts. You're a valuable person. And I think that you're somebody who's very naturally giving, and Spirit wants to return the favor. And so I think one thing that Spirit wants you to do is be more open to other people helping you, and be more open to other people giving you assistance of any kind. With Temperance here, I think your spirit guides talk to you in your dreams a lot, or you get messages in your dreams. So pay attention to those. You could be clairsentient or clairvoyant. And with this bittersweet card, Spirit is really asking you to not only speak your truth, but learn to find peace amidst the chaos. Because one thing that I'm called to think about with this bittersweet card is how life is really paradoxical. We can't have everything at once. We can't have our cake and eat it too. We typically have to make some kind of sacrifice in order to get something else. So, for example, there's that saying, oh, you know, when you're young, you have all the time and all the energy in the world, but no money. When you're middle-aged, or like when you're an adult, you know, you've got all the money and the energy in the world, but you've got no time. And then when you're elderly, you've got all the time and the money, but not the energy. And while that might not be entirely true, it just goes to show how you can't always get what you want when you want it. And acceptance of that, and recognizing that things are complex, things are good and bad. There is duality in everything, and a lot of things are not just exact absolutes. They lie on spectrums, and nothing is as simple as we want to write it off to be. And you're not as simple as you write it off to be. And pile 3, what I'm feeling called to say is that you're a very complex puzzle, and the only person that can decipher it is you. Now, tarot readings, psychics, people who can do like soul readings and stuff like that, or, you know, psychologists, things like that as well, they could be very helpful in understanding those pieces, but you're the only person that can put those pieces together, because truthfully, you are the only person who knows you as intimately as you do. Other people can assist you, but they can't spoon feed you your healing. And you have everything you need to heal yourself, and Spirit wants you to heal and continue to work on your healing, because you deserve that. And I also think with this card, with this abundance card, Spirit's asking you to be a little bit more resourceful and be aware of your mindset. Your mindset might really harm your perspective, and it might shift your perspective in ways that aren't helpful. With this weight, you know, you are just a treasure waiting to be discovered, and you're going to slowly figure yourself out. And as you get older, you're going to learn more about yourself, and you're going to be like, man, I wish I knew this when I was this age, or I wish I had done this when I was that age. But you're not going to have that perspective until you get there. And so it's important to start now and recognize, you know, I don't know where I'm headed, but I might as well take one step forward and just start and just see where it leads, because you never know. And one thing I'm called to talk about with this, you're not for everyone, embrace your weirdness, face your true north. Your uniqueness is a gift, is a blessing. And you don't have to, it's impossible to please everyone. I mean, like me just being myself, I get people in my comments giving me shit because I move my hands too much or whatever. I'm just like, okay, all right, I talk with my hands. I'm passionate. Like, if you don't like it, don't watch me. You know, I'm not for everybody, and that's okay. But that's not going to stop me from expressing myself, you know? And also, there are way more, like vastly more positive, loving comments that make me feel so wonderful and that make me just so happy that I do this than there are negatives. There's very minimal negative ones. And you also have to think about the type of person that goes out of their way to leave negative comments, because even a lot of people will say like, oh, I don't typically leave comments, but you know, this reading really resonated or this made me really happy. And I know how special that is, because I'm not really somebody that leaves comments on stuff, and I'm sure a lot of you are the same. And so if you're worried about expressing yourself, if you're worried about being your true self, and you get backlash for it, one thing I want you to know is that there's going to be a lot more people in your corner supporting you than there are going to be working against you. But the people that aren't supporting you and the people that openly say things that they dislike about you or say things that they don't like or hate on you, think about the kind of place you have to be in order to go out of your way to shit on someone else. They're probably not very happy with themselves, and rather than focusing on themselves and focusing on their own happiness, they would rather bring down others. And think about how special it is that you don't have to do that, and that you have the awareness of knowing who you are, and that you're worthy of happiness, and that you can be your true self. There's always going to be someone that has something to say about who you are, what you're doing. But you deserve to honor what your soul is telling you, and you deserve to allow yourself the freedom to express who you truly are. You're going to grow, you're going to get better, you're going to evolve, and you're going to change. It's okay to not see where you're headed right now. You just need to take the first step and answer that call. Answer the call that your soul is asking you to do. Because there are going to be people, you know, I think that one thing that holds us back is putting ourselves out there because we're afraid of what people might say or what people might think. But like I said, there's a lot more people in the world that are kind, that are gracious, that are supportive, that lift you up, and that will love you, than there are people who will dislike you and tear you down. And I just want you to know that the people who do dislike you and tear you down aren't worth your time, and they're not worth your energy. And I think that at the end of the day, it's really easy to think that people are out to get us and that the whole world is against us. But the fact of the matter is that most people in the world are good. And most people are just trying to do their best and want to be a good person to other people and want to help others. I think, you know, there are bad people. I even think, you know, with the polarities thing, it's hard to say that people are good or bad because, you know, good people do bad things and bad people do good things. Things are so much more complicated than we write them out to be. And, you know, you might just be on the receiving end of somebody having a bad day. You know, I used to work retail. That's like basically mental abuse. And, you know, the shit that I had to deal with on a daily basis was insane. But I also got like really cheap clothes, so it worked out, and I got to meet some really cool people, and I had some really cool experiences. You know, there's pros and cons to everything. I like to say, pick which shit sandwich you'd like to eat, because no matter what you do or no matter what you pursue, there's always going to be downsides to it. There's always going to be something that you don't like about it. There's always going to be something that's not ideal. So decide which negatives you'd most like to deal with, and that might help you go in the right direction. But you have innate abilities, and your soul is already leading you where you need to go. It's okay not to know everything right now, and that's kind of one of the special aspects of the divine plan. You are being guided, and you have to believe that you're worthy of this abundance. You have to believe that everything will work out the way it's meant to. There are blessings for you to receive. And I think that you're meant to share this abundance with others as well. You're growing into the person that you're going to be. And your uniqueness is not something to be ashamed of or hide. It's time to shine with that Ace of Wands. You know, you've got passion, you've got creativity. It's time to express it and move on from the things that are holding you back. I'm called to talk about candle magic as well. That might be something helpful for you if you're interested in that sort of thing. But trust that the seeds you plant now will grow into things that you can't even imagine in the future. You have so much to achieve. You are so strong, and your emotional intelligence will lead you to so many interesting places. There is only one of you, and man, I hope that you can see how cool you are, because you deserve to. The one thing that you just have to trust is that everything will make sense in time. Things are being woven. Your story is still being woven. You don't have to have all the answers. You're getting there. Just put one foot in front of the other, you know? You'll get there. You've done this before. You're here for special purpose. You are special. Your life is not meaningless. Your purpose is not meaningless. You are dope as hell. And you're going to get exactly where you need to go. You are a beautiful butterfly, and you're just gonna fly. I'm just so happy for you. Okay, let's get advice now. I feel like that was a lot of I felt like I was your dad for a second, pile 3, just piling on the advice and giving you encouragement, but I feel like that's what you need. I get a lot of Aquarius vibes from this pile. You know, I think that you guys inherently know that there's a lot of unique, special things about you. I think that you're still just kind of discovering where to invest those energies and what you might love to do and what you might be passionate about and where you think you see yourself. And it's okay to not have those answers. You might forge your own path. Who knows? Just follow what your soul is calling you to do, and you'll be led in the right direction. Happiness is the sign that you are on the right path. So hopefully that wasn't too preachy. I'm sorry if it was. I feel like that was one hell of a preach session. But you guys deserve to know how wonderful you are and how much you're going to achieve. And just because you can't see it right now doesn't mean that it's not going to exist in the future. I already have advice cards coming out, so I'll take them first. So we have the Ella Fairy, make a wish, take a chance, and make a change. That's making me think of the song Breakaway. We also have Luna Tree, stay deeply rooted while reaching for the sky. Yeah, Spirit's asking you to be grounded and, you know, have that balance between seeing what could be and being present and focusing on what is now. We also have Piper and the Ghosties. Stand up for what you believe in and never let others steal your joy. Exactly what I was talking about. You deserve to be happy. And, you know, anybody that says that you can't do it or you can't, or that you're not good enough, F them. You know, they suck. They don't suck. They suck for saying that. And they need to do some inner work. And finally, we have Timothy. There really is magic within you. And I think that is so important because it's that inner magic that's going to lead you where you need to go. And you're so blessed and so gifted. And if you don't think that, it's only because you're not fully aware of what gifts you inherently have yet. And that's why self-exploration is fun. Because it's cool to learn about all the things about ourselves that we didn't know we had. So, Spirit, what else do you want pile 3 to know? What encouraging messages do you have for them? Joy is the ultimate creator. Yeah, that's that Ace of Wands, doing what makes you happy. I honor how I want to feel. Yeah, and you deserve to honor those feelings. Don't push those aside. Address them. That's that who or what is triggering you. Address those feelings and get to the root of those, because you're going to find a lot of answers there. We also have, I create mindful moments throughout the day, reminding myself that I am love and miracles. Reminding myself that I am love and miracles are natural. I just get distracted by this because that looks like a titty to me. Or a pimple. and sorry. Really ruined the moment, didn't I? Let me give you one more. I feel called to just cut the deck and give you one more. All right. Oh, and look at that. We have another butterfly, and I feel like this one underneath it wants to come out too. My fearless freedom lights up the world, and I surrender to a power greater than me. And with that temperance, it's all about that greater power. You know, you have that. It's time for you to surrender and trust that if you jump, the universe will catch you. This deck is literally called The Universe Has Your Back. You're awesome, pile 3, and you deserve to believe it. So I'm going to go ahead and get you some charms and songs now. Pile 3, Spirit. Okay. You guys got a lot of letters. Lettuce. Okay, let me pull you some songs too so I don't forget. Alrighty. So, where do I want to start? I'll start with this charm. So, obviously this is a broken heart with a band-aid over it. And this is just calling me to think about, you know, it's happening for you, not to you. And sometimes it might feel like things are happening to you, but a lot of times our toughest battles are what open us up to spirit and what make us stronger. And, you know, you're healing, and spirit is proud of you for the healing that you've already accomplished, and that you deserve to be healed. And, you know, the shitty thing about healing is that it's a constant process. It never ends. There is no magic wand you can wave, and you have to trust that, you know, some things just need to heal over time. We can't rush that process. And so I feel like spirit is asking you to be patient with that process. With this ring here, oh my gosh, we have 2 rings. So I'm being called to talk about how, one, you're somebody valuable and you're worthy of a commitment, and that you don't have to sacrifice your needs to keep someone in your life. And we also have the seahorse, which also makes me think of the Lovers. My God, what the fuck is going on outside? Shut up. I hate living where I live. I live near a busy street, so sorry about that. Like, are you good? Are you done? Oh my God. Okay, well, for some of you that might be a sign, but I'm not pleased. I'm not impressed. But with these 2 charms, you know, well, maybe that, pay attention to red flags. I feel like that's something I'm called to say. Don't sacrifice your needs or what you want for anybody. If something feels off, trust your gut. But the seahorse also talks about watching and waiting. So, you know, be an observer. You don't always have to concretely act on things. Just allow things to happen as they will. And yeah, I also, with this ring, you know, you are an infinite being. You are a soul having a human experience, and you are worthy of love, and you are worthy of giving that love to yourself. Speaking of, we have the sun, moon, and star charm, and this always makes me think about how complicated things are. They're not very black and white, and it's important to remember that you know more than you did yesterday. There's a lot of things you still don't know, but just have positive hopes for the future, and try to stay positive as much as you can, you know, not to the point where it's toxic, but realistic positivity, and you'll accomplish great things, you know. The elephant too is about gaining wisdom and stomping any obstacles or barriers in the way. Like, you will do it. Like that elephant, you know, make a wish, take a chance, make a change. Break away from these shitty habits and these shitty mindsets that make you think like that you're not good enough or that you're not worthy. With the cat spirit, this is also, being of worthy, knowing your worth and trusting your intuition and knowing what's right for you. With the key here, I think that the key to unlocking yourself is already within you, and it's time to open that key up. And I think with the heart here, self-love is something very important. That's something very hard to achieve, but it's something we can continually strive for. And we have the guitar here and the French horn, so music could be really significant. You could be clairaudient, or you could hear messages in music, so I'm looking forward to see what messages you get. But with the guitar here, you know, feel free to let your hair loose, rock out, have fun. But with this French horn, I also think of the Judgment card. And I believe Archangel Gabriel is in the Judgment card, so he might have some significance in your life. But also, I think Spirit is saying that there are going to be a lot more answers in the future, and that everything will make sense, and you know, you're continually receiving more awakenings. We also have some letters here. So we have V, so we have 2 V's. Interesting. So we have V, V, R, and O. So with the V's, I'm like called to think about like OVR. So like, you know, some things, the past is over, leave the past in the past, it's time to heal. Some things are over. I'm also thinking of like the Mars rover for some reason. So maybe you have Aries placements or a really strong Mars. Mars is ruled by Aries and Scorpio. So, or Aries and Scorpio are ruled by Mars. With the 3, this can be Pisces or Aries energy as well. And with the V's, I just think that you're very, very nice, or in the words of Borat, very nice. You are wonderful. Range Rover could be significant as well. You know, maybe that's a goal to be shooting for. Okay, let's look at your songs. So we have, I can't open it. Gosh dang it. We have I Hate You, I Love You by Nash, featuring Olivia O'Brien. Can't talk today. We have Obsessed by Mariah Carey. We have Let Me Know, or LMK, by Lil XL. I think this came out in a reading yesterday as well. We also have Run Away With Me by Carly Rae Jepsen. I love this song. It makes me so happy. We also have Forever by Chris Brown. Speaking of Office references, at least I think I made it into this reading. Could have been the last one. I honestly can't remember at this point. And finally, we have Sober by Selena Gomez. So pile 3, thank you guys so much for watching this all the way through. If you did, definitely let me know down in the comments how it resonates. I would love to hear. Definitely leave me a like and subscribe if you are interested in more readings like this in the future. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to read your cards and charms. I really, really appreciate it. I am wishing you guys the best, and I hope you'll come back and visit me again in the future. Bye!